Michael, could I have a word?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that was some meeting, wasn't it? I mean, Deborah is so self-centred. She only thinks of herself.
Betsy, I can see that you're quite upset.
Well, why does it take some people so long to understand that we're all working towards the same goal? I always think about what's best for the company. If she could just leave her ego behind, it would make things so much easier. My department has bent over backwards to cut costs, and I have made sure that every one of my 25 employees understands the company's goals.
Would you like to talk about things in my office?
Well, yes. Okay. Thanks, Michael. That'd
Sure.
be great.
Come on. Betsy, I know this might not be easy for you right now, but why don't you try putting yourself into Deborah's shoes for a moment?
Well, if I were her, I'm sure I wouldn't have the trust of my team and the loyalty that I have now. I mean, she's just so selfish.
Well, maybe being a little more selfish, it wouldn't be so tough to carry all that responsibility. Maybe it would be easier. You wouldn't have to worry about the company so much. You wouldn't have to worry about the big picture all the time.
But if our department didn't take the big picture into consideration, the company would be in a mess. We're the ones who have to decide which services are covered by the insurance, and we carry out the cost negotiations with the hospitals. We adhere to strict guidelines to ensure that the company is not wasting money.
Well, maybe we can approach the way you feel from a different angle. How about this for an idea? Can you think of a cartoon character that always gets his or her way and is selfish?
Well, Daffy Duck comes to mind. He always puts himself first and would sell out his best friend if it meant getting rich or saving his own skin.
And how does he behave?
Well, he's stubborn and he believes that he's better than anyone else, and his arrogance and greed often get him into trouble, and he seems very tough. Yes, that's it, he's tough.
And how would it be, being that tough?
Well, he's in his own world. He's only concerned with what's going on around him, and he only cares about himself.
So, how can some of these characteristics help you with your relationship to Deborah?
Well, it's certainly a better place to be. No one can bother me because I'm in control of my own destiny. I know where I am.
And if this could be present when you relate to Deborah?
Well, this puts me in a totally different place. I feel much more in control. In my relationship with her, there does need to be a degree of self-centeredness that I should use. I know where to focus, and this is also what she has been doing.
Sure. And how does it feel to pick up some of those characteristics?
Well, it feels different. I don't feel so tangled. You know what? I'm going to go and see if she's in her office. Maybe we can clear up some of this bad feeling. Thanks, Michael. You're always so intuitive.
Pleasure.
Hi, Betsy. Well, what brings you here?
Hi, Deborah. I wonder if we could have a little chat.
Sure. Take a seat.
Thanks. I've been talking to Michael, and some things came up about relationships in work, and I was wondering if we could talk about it a little bit.
Okay. Although, as I said before, we don't need to be friends. We just need to get done what needs to be get done.
But I really think that if we understood each other more, it would help us to work better together.
Well, of course. If I can help, then yeah.
So, well, I appreciate that, and I know this is quite forward of me, but I want to share with you the fact that I find it really difficult to communicate with you, and I have, perhaps wrongly, felt that you were selfish, and well, I'd really like to improve our relationship and And I actually think I should take responsibility for the lack of communication between us.
Wow. Well, I've never seen you act so direct before. This is new to me. To be frank, I've always thought you were slightly sneaky. But here you are, you come in, you tell me this, and you're being very open. I think it's great.
Well, I'm really happy you say that. I really want this to be constructive. You see, the thing is, I see that you pursue your own goals, and sometimes that makes me feel like you're being self-centered in a way. And when you decide on the launch of a product without communicating to me, I just end up feeling that we're not even part of the same company.
Betsy, my goals are to sell as many policies as possible using the best marketing strategy. My target revenue is very high. This company needs a buyer, and without strong revenue, we're not attractive to anyone. As for me being selfish, if I launch a product without first having a personal conversation with you, it's because there's already been a lot of work done with your team and general management about the product, the price, the market positioning, etc.
I've been here for 15 years, and if you do something like a major launch without consulting me, can you imagine how I might feel? Here we are at a critical time for the company, and I don't feel respected, and there's no feeling that we're working shoulder to shoulder.
Oh, Betsy, what do you want? Look, we're not here to create a community. You're the type of person who puts your team first no matter what. Your team is never wrong. You don't think like a manager. You know, sometimes management position is not an easy job because the decisions we have to make are not easy.
Are you saying I don't do my job properly? You only care about yourself. Do you think that's a professional approach?
That's some accusation, Betsy. You know, I think you've really gone too far.
Well, let's just slow things down a little. Let me ask you something. Can you try to see if there's something that I'm saying that has some truth in it?
Well, I don't agree with your statements. I may be self-guided or even autonomous, but I'm obviously not like you insofar as you feel better working in a group. I've always relied on myself rather than on other people. Maybe that's why I feel so free. I can feel free. And sometimes I feel lonely, but, well, I've learned it's better to be lonely than rejected.
Well, I guess that powerful ability to work alone is what I've found difficult to understand. I mean, threatening even.
Well, although I'm glad you see me as being powerful, I don't see myself like that. You know, I have to work really hard to get the results I get. It doesn't come easily to me.
What if for a moment you could be on top of the world, not worrying about achieving results, because the power that you have simply made things happen? How would you feel then?
I don't have a magic wand.
Just imagine you've achieved what needs to be done. What's next?
Well, I don't feel I have to prove myself. No more confrontation.
What if you just relax and don't fight? How are things from there?
Well, here the atmosphere is encouraging, is welcoming. No competition. And the atmosphere seems like it, by taking away the competition, it encourages cooperation.
And how can this feeling support you?
I need this because I'm tired of having to prove myself all the time. And I like working in a group.
Do you think it would be useful to use this perspective at times in the company?
You know, I think it would. Definitely in the general meetings. And I wouldn't feel like I had to fight. Thanks for coming by, Betsy. This has been really constructive.
Great.